Why, hello, I'm Barry with Empty Hammock. You never know what you're going to see. Today you're going to see me working on my tool trailer, or my gypsy mobile as my wife calls it. This is a trailer that I designed and built for the sole purpose of holding my tools so I can go out and do jobs easier. I don't like putting stuff in the bed of my truck. It gets wet, it can get stolen, damaged, whatever. So I put this thing together off of an old equipment trailer on the bottom, and there's a couple of features about this design that I really like. First off, you can see that I cut the center of the trailer out and dropped the floor down so that when I open the door, it's just like a 1 foot step up, and I can stand up completely. I'm 6 foot tall. I have like 6'2" on the inside. However, it needs some work. It is very messy inside. I have not been able to get it cleaned out because I haven't been doing a whole lot of jobs where my health had tanked so badly. I'm feeling better, I'm getting back into it, and I need to get this thing working again. The biggest thing I need to do with this trailer, however, is fix the leak. It has a couple. It was completely watertight and worked fantastic for years until that hoarder house that I built or rebuilt. I'll put a link up top for that. Some neighborhood jerk had picked up the trailer tongue, pushed it down the hill into the house, and it damaged the house and the trailer. Got here this morning to find that somebody had pushed my tool trailer with about 1,000 pounds of tools in it, about 45 degrees to the side and into the side of the house, which was fantastic. There's no way it could have done that by itself. So now I've got a bunch of siding I've got to replace, and the trailer is probably going to leak now. It broke the fiberglass on the side and disconnected a bunch of stuff, broke the light. Anyway, never found out who did it. Whatever, who cares? Move on. However, it's all damaged, and I have not had the time or ability to fix it. Every single time it rains, it gets wet inside here. Stuff is starting to mold and rust. That's no bueno for tools. So, step one, gotta get it cleaned out. That's better. Now I can actually see what's going on. I'm gonna end up rearranging stuff anyway, because I figured out a few things that'll work better. But you can see the kind of damage I'm talking about. This whole corner, it's actually got mushrooms growing on the wood, which probably isn't a good thing. So as much as I really don't want to, this whole area is just trash. It's totally gone. Sawdust. So I'm going to take this whole back panel off, disconnect it all the way around, and then use it as a template to make a new one. I'm going to have to look at this side too, because it's sort of the same. Oh, there you go. So it looks like I'm replacing the whole back of the trailer. Here we go. So the goal here is to just bodge this thing back together long enough to get through about 3 months of work before my gutter cleaning season picks back up. And then after that season is done, I'll have enough money to just buy an actual trailer. Not something that I made. I can't talk too much about it. It's made me a lot of money over the years, but I think it's definitely time for an upgrade. Probably look a little bit more professional too. Well, I am thankful for somewhere at least mostly dry to work. Certainly could be worse. I got one half on, mostly bodged back together. It's nowhere near as nice as it was the first time, but this thing only has to last about 3 months. So I'm just putting it together enough to slap some tools in and go work. I gotta do the other side now. try. See, if I had a shop, I'd have my table saw set up. And I'll just run this through the table saw to get off all this old, broken out plywood. But this works too. Sort of. I got a whole new packing system, these Milwaukee boxes. They all stack together, super tough. So 2 stacks are going to be right here so that I can just go right in from the door and immediately get to the boxes. This was by the door, worked great for a long time, but stuff just flies around too much in it. This is 2 pieces, so I'm going to go ahead and separate this and put one there and one on the bottom there. I'm sure this is probably as boring as watching paint dry, watching me reorganize my tool trailer. Could be worse though. I mean, I could be talking politics or something. Blech. And then on top of this, I'm going to put something else. I got to get it uncovered first. So in my giant pile of junk, I have a bunch of tools that I absolutely have to have depending on the job, but I don't use very often, like a router and belt sander and heat gun and things like that. So I'm going to stow all of that stuff in the cabinets, make little spots for each thing. And then in this big wood box here, this is what I used to have all those tools in. And then all of my also not as often used big hand tools I had in this janky bag on the floor, which just didn't work. It was hard to get stuff out of. So I'm going to put all this stuff in this box on top of that so I can stand there, open it, and get stuff out of it easier. Sounds good if you say it fast. Oh yeah, that's awesome. I can put some stuff in the front. This opens easy, I can get into it. There's no wasted space. Much more gooder. I like that setup a lot. I flipped this one so the doors open toward each other, which is nice. Got the backs, I'm tired, box anchored on top, and I have 2 designated shelves for stuff that I use all the time. Socket kit, vacuum cleaner. This area on the ground is going to be, like I said, my stack kit. But because of the height of the wheel well, I'm going to have to raise this up a little bit so that they'll sit flat, but that's no big deal. It got too dark last night to film anymore. I didn't do a whole lot in there anyway, so I went out last night and got some caulk, just cheapo silicone, to get everything sealed back up. Without exaggeration, this next step is absolutely my least favorite. I do not like sorting and organizing things. It's just not the way my brain works. So I have to get all of this mess into there. I'm also bringing up tractor loads of stuff from the house where everything had landed in there. There's a lot. So I'm going to spend the next probably 6 hours sorting, but you get to watch a time lapse. I'll give you the fast-paced nickel tour. Tools, more tools, compressor, metal, bucket of sandpaper, more tools, tool belt for my tools, blades, pencils, pouch, fire extinguisher, clamps, paint, more tools, 2 containers of hardware, and all of these are full of tools. I even have my keying kit, just in case somebody wants to get a lock rekeyed. That's a fun thing to play with. Back in my locksmithing days. Tape. Well, it only took me 2 days to get it organized. The hardest part was the hardware, all the nails and screws and nuts and bolts and things. That detail stuff just is so time consuming. And I still need to figure out something to do with most of the detritus that threw up into my little workspace area, but I'll get that later. I still need to put the door on. I'll do that in a minute. Okay, bye.